Shalom everyone. Listen, there's going to be some annoying days ahead on this channel, just to let you know. It'll be approximately 2 annoying weeks. So if that bothers you, I wish I would say that I'm sorry, but if you knew my situation, I'm not sorry. You would do the same thing. That being said, okay, we're here to talk about Torah and physics, and this is one of my more favorite topics. I really enjoy this. You've probably heard me say this before, that this body is just a organic biological spacesuit for your soul to have a physical experience here on earth. It has these functions: taste, eat, smell, whatever, okay, how it refuels, okay, how it replenishes, whatever, okay. This is part of what can be known as the Yetzirah, that you have to feed the Yetzirah in order to continue going through this experience. So in order for this to happen, the soul and physical body need to have some sort of entanglement, and that is what we're going to be talking about today. I'm really excited for this. I know it doesn't seem like it, because introverts, we can be quite boring even when we're really excited. It doesn't look like we're excited. It doesn't look like we're being dramatic, but we are excited and we can be dramatic, but you just have to know the signs of your favorite introvert. That being said, let's just review some things for those of you out there who appreciate having the review, some topics that will help you better understand the articles that we're about to discuss. Quantum entanglement is like a special connection between two tiny particles. Imagine two special dice that always roll the same number, even if they're super far apart, like one on Earth and one on Mars. When you check on one die, the other instantly shows the same number, no matter the distance. They're linked in a weird quantum way, acting like they talk to each other faster than light. It's spooky, cool trick of nature. And so one form that we have this quantum entanglement is with the soul and the body. Whatever happens above is happening here. A quantum state is like a secret rule book that describes how a tiny particle like an electron behaves. It tells us things like where particles might be or how it's spinning, but in a weird fuzzy way, because particles can act like they're in many places at once. Think of it as a magic card that only reveals its full details when you look at it. Spooky action at a distance is a weird quantum trick where two particles act like they're connected even if they're super far apart. Imagine two magic coins. When you flip one, it lands on heads. The other instantly lands on heads too, no matter if it's across the room or on another planet. It's like they talk to each other faster than light, which is spooky and mysterious. So now we have some questions, right? The first question is, if your body and soul are connected and you and your spouse are connected, can there be multiple entanglements? Can you be entangled with your body as well as your spouse, or is this something else? Another question is, when your body dies, do you automatically become disengaged with the body? Does the soul just repeat another life? Is it in waiting to be born again? What exactly is happening when the body dies and there's seemingly a break in the connection, as well as divorce, right? When you divorce someone, are you breaking your entanglement with that person, or are you permanently bound to them? Truth be told, to say that the monogamy principle means that if two objects are entangled, neither of them can also be entangled with a third object is a bit of an oversimplification. Let's put a finger on it. Strictly speaking, according to the monogamy principle, if particle A and particle B are in a maximally entangled state, then neither particle A nor particle B can be entangled with the third particle C. Entanglement is not a binary relationship. Either two particles are entangled or not. It's a relationship that has a scale. Two particles can be more or less entangled. As I explained before, entanglement is when two objects are correlated so that learning information about one object reveals information about its entangled partner. If measuring the state of one object, we know everything about the state of the other objects. These objects are maximally entangled. However, when learning about the state of one object reveals some but not all information about the other object, they were partially entangled. So too, we can be more or less entangled with God, as it were, and more or less entangled with the world. Maximum entanglement with God is incompatible with life in the physical world. When Moshe asked God to see him, God warns Moshe, "You cannot see my face, for man shall not see my face and live." The Torah portion Kedoshim, followed by the portion Al Harimot, after the death of Aaron's two sons, Navav and Abihu wanted to be maximally entangled with God. As a result, the monogamy principle dictates they disengage from this world and die. This is not what God wants from us. Okay, so I think it needs to be reminded of exactly what's going on with the Gilgalim. Your soul is spread out over the course of these cycles. This is to make the tikkun process easier, the repair process easier from the fall of Adam and Hava. Okay, but this is an oversimplification to say it like this. What's happening is your soul is spread out over the course of these Gilgalim to keep the soul from being overridden, okay? Like burning out. When you give something too much energy, you burn it out, you destroy it. So the soul in its state after having fallen in the garden with Adam and Hava, their soul needed to be spread out over the course of the cycles in order to do the repair without actually killing them. So your soul is spread out to prevent your ultimate demise, like what happened with Aaron's two sons, but also to make it easier. So your soul has a partial connection with God in one generation and a partial entanglement with God in another generation. And this is all for your own benefit, to make the tikkun process easier and to prevent your demise. To maintain this difficult balance, as Rabbi Shimon Devar Avalovich explains in his discourse Samek Vav, this is one of the reasons the Torah precepts are divided into positive commandments and negative commandments. The positive commandments, most of which deal with physical objects, entangle this, as it were, to the physical world to elevate it. The negative commandments, on the other hand, disentangle us from the physical world just to make sure we don't get too much entangled with physicality. Thus, the Torah gives us instructions to maintain this delicate balance. Every morning when we wake up, we must realize the fact that God returned our soul to us, which means He doesn't see this world without us. The world cannot exist without us, for if it could, we wouldn't be here. We, therefore, must happily engage with this world to make it a better place, dwelling place for God. We must engage, but not get too entangled with the physicality of the world. Thus, the verse should really be understood. You shall be disentangled, but not disengaged. So, without this balance, we cannot connect these two worlds, right? You get too far into the spiritual, override your soul energetically, burn out. You get too far into the physical, have no connection to the spiritual world, burn out. And so this balance and staying centered is what's really keeping things in order and keeping this flow happening, this communication happening to connect this world. And that world requires a very delicate balance.